Meanwhile, oh, of course, this puts Florence against the Pope. So this is Florence's attempt to gain some revenge against the Pope for that excommunication which happened earlier. Florence also having a large fleet. So I don't think that the Florentine side is going to have any problems for naval power. 32 heavy, 66 lights, 4 galleys and 20 transports. I do wonder what Florence's fleet is actually like. It's going to be mostly transports. Yeah, Florence's fleet's quite small. I suspect that there were a couple of naval battles against the Pope, because the Pope has reasons to have their own strong fleet, and they've lost like basically all of their ships. So that does look like that was the case. So the Catholic factions right now definitely taking some serious hits, and I do wonder if any of this is at all possibly related to the religious struggles which are supposed to be happening. So the Pope sitting here in Abruzzi, Rome currently being attacked by Florence and Ferrara. They're letting that tick up. It's up to 21%. This is when I'd be thinking about counterattacking, although that's a level 5 shock general defending right there against a 2 shock, so a 3 swing. And this is still Age of Shock, so not going to be looking good. And this is an impressive British army that they've managed to raise as well. 66,000. I'm actually quite surprised that they've got that much of a military. They've gone fully up to their 72 military land limits against 32,000 Iberians. What are the British ideas? Have they taken quantity? Quality, trade, and exploration. I mean, just the sheer amount of development in this region is the type of thing that allows them to do that. And then they can actually afford to do it because of the money that they're making from all of the money that people are giving them. Who doesn't have a player? Genoa doesn't have a player. Genoa is now playing as Galicia Volhynia. It's their choice. I suspect CPM is asking for help from his allies, like Portugal, who's just sitting here. Rather than me. Check Discord real quick, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. So the war over here doesn't seem to be doing very much. Rome has now fallen, and the sheer numbers that Florence have brought to the table are beginning to show. Kind of want to take a look at Muscovy again. Oh, no, battle. So the Pope has decided to attack Florence. They have a -1 because of the river crossing, because they let the fort fall. 105 discipline against 100, 3.8 against 3.6 morale. So the difference in quality isn't that great. It's just that Florence has a lot more troops here and the better general. So this was always going to be a difficult fight. And also, Florence has a shock received reduction, which is a really good trait to have at this stage of the game. Crikey. And it does look like the Pope is being forced back. Florence able to pass straight through Naples because they control Naples. And I do wonder what Florence is going to demand from this fight. And whether Britain will give it to them. So Britain has decided to move south. They've now gone for Toledo. Probably offered a deal saying, I want Gibraltar. And Castile probably went, no. And now they've gone, okay, we're going to fight more. This is an unconditional surrender by Muscovy. So they have 1 minute to come up with a peace deal, which Muscovy then needs to accept. And this is almost certainly going to be the end of Russia. He was caught snoozing. He got a little bit overconfident. Because he's been so isolated, because he's managed to avoid all the player wars until now, but people don't like a strong Russia. Because once Russia really starts to get strong, they are almost impossible to bring down. It's kind of like the Ottomans. And there we go, Polish-Russia. They took Moscow. And now Russia can't form anymore. It's been blocked. They need to take Moscow and Novgorod. In fact, was that one of the Polish objectives? I didn't think so. Nope. Although the other thing is, have they taken the entirety of those regions? No. Because Yelets is still in Ruthenia. I hate that these two are so similar to each other in colour. Oh, and... Oh no, there's Lithuanian. And that's also in Russia, not in Ruthenia. And also they don't have the Balkans because of Prussia there. So that's not going to happen. So that is the end of the attack on Muscovy. So we're definitely seeing a solidification of the alliances of the Eastern Europeans, I would say. The Western Europeans are basically fallen. Germany has been annihilated today. Also, we can see the peace deal that Venice finally demanded from Austria, which was Tyrol and Trent. Also known as Südtirol in Austrian. And Austria is looking horrifically carved up. Yikes. So the Papal States definitely not looking too hot here. Florence is really properly spread out. They probably got a stack wipe in there. Castile bringing in a couple of their troops. I do wonder if Castile has managed to bring their forces home from their war against the Aztecs. It does look like it, and Castile has actually got their first colonies in Mexico, trying to go for their 12 gold mine goal. Meanwhile, Venice gets forever richer. Yeah, Venice is just going up and up and up in terms of money. Let's take a look at that. So at the moment, in terms of income, Great Britain is first. Ottomans are only just behind them. And then there is a massive gap of 50 ducats, effectively, until Venice, France, and then another 10 ducat gap between France and Florence. And Muscovy, Caracalla still stunningly wealthy. Denmark, Poland, Castile all the way down here. Oman, Sweden, Portugal, Prussia. Like, I think that Caracall's economy is fantastically strong, all things considered. So it does look like Castile is trying to cut off reinforcements from the north. Unfortunately, this is not Hearts of Iron, so you can't cut them off from port supply completely. And they would need to take Burgos to really solidify that. And there are still 60,000 Brits running around in Spain. And only 32,000 Spaniards to deal with that. How am I going to change the player goals now that Genoa's tag switched? I'm not. That was up to the player. The goals remain the same. I'm not going to do more work just because a player decided to change country. So Abruzzi has, unless they're like legitimately defeated and moved to a new country, in which case fair enough, but he hasn't been defeated. Abruzzi has fallen to Florence, and I do suspect that we're going to see a peace deal enforced against the Papal States. They are not a co-belligerent, so they're not going to be able to take very much from this, and if they do, they'll take a lot of aggressive expansion, of which there is already a fair amount. So Florence is going to need to be a little bit careful about what they demand here from the Papal States, and Britain actually has the potential to really screw Florence if he wanted to by giving them too much territory. But I am very curious to see what Florence demands from this. Might just be money. The two might be perfectly happy with the borders that they've already established, though I somewhat doubt that. The other thing I want to double check is to see if Florence has actually started to build up their development even further. Florence is at 35. I think that must be where he's doing it. Oh no, maybe Lucca, 34. Genoa's at 28. Mantua's at 26. Mantua would actually be a fairly good place to get up to 100 dev. Like Florence, despite the fact that they only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 provinces, has got 263 development. Oh, 12 provinces apparently. Alright, so Castile is now buying some more troops here in the south where they can still be seen by the British Navy. They can see the coast. And they are losing great power status. I'm still not convinced it's going to be enough. But then again, Castile does hit pretty hard because of their morale bonus. That's where Britain's going to struggle. But then Castile only has exploration ideas and he'll be up against a Britain with quality. So that British quality is going to be difficult to overcome. Are France and Florence allies? Yes, and they have been from pretty much the start of the game. So who are the Knights allied? Oh, the Ottomans have declared war on the Papal States as well. They're going for Rome. So the Ottomans have declared war on the Papal States, bringing in Aragon, Castile, Holland, and the Knights. Holland, of course, being AI at the moment. I do wonder what, if anything, the Knights are going to do here, or if they're just going to be kind of quivering with fear about the fact that their natural allies have effectively been extinguished. And also, this is not a war against the Knights. They haven't risen, or they haven't raised their morale. I wonder if the Ottomans have said, I'm not going to go for you because I want Rome. So, is Florence going to take Rome to save Europe? Will Florence take that risk in the greater good of European unity in the face of Ottoman aggression? That is the question. Oh, is Castile behind in tech as well? What's happened to you? I mean, militarily they're ahead of time, so that's fine, but wow. Trying to take Toledo back again. Britain could be doing a slightly better job of the blockades here. They have more than enough heavy ships here to basically guarantee a victory in any naval conflict, especially because they have one heavy ship. They should probably spread these out and get blockades so you can get the war score and also war exhaustion. Like, war exhaustion is an underappreciated facet of war. And you get a lot of it if you do blockades, especially if it's a 100% blockade. Now, I do wonder if Sweden's going to try and attack Muscovy once this truce has ended. So he's got until 27, so next year, July next year, almost a full year. And Muscovy is still going to be weakened from the peace. And I do wonder if like Muscovy's in debt or anything like that. They have no manpower, unsurprisingly, and yeah, they are fairly heavily in debt because of the peace demand, 1,600. So this would be Sweden's opportunity. However, is Sweden diplomatically isolated because they broke their alliance with Muscovy? No. They are allied with Prussia, Denmark, and Great Britain. A pretty good combination right there. Although, royal marriage with Poland. So that does seem like an agreement broken. They have a truce with France, Muscovy, Genoa, and Thuringia. So I think that France has decided, I want no more part of Poland. Oh, that was the Castellan fight. Stack wipe. Oh no, it wasn't. Oh, that was just the Toledo siege. Unfortunately, these guys aren't nearly close enough to defend that, and Portugal's not lifting a finger to help them. And now we have British privateers coming in to cause even more economic problems. Oh, Lübeck has apparently finished their goal as well, which I will need to double check. So, Denmark own 6 centres of trade in Lübeck. All must be level 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm missing one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nope, that's done. So yes, Denmark has achieved a goal. Huzzah! So Denmark's entered the scoreboards, and this is the end of the stream. So we are ending this while Castile and the entirety of the Catholic faith is under threat by the perfidious Albion and their Italian allies. And there we go. So let's go and add everybody to the chat channel, and we'll say hello to them all. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. How many different ways can I say hello? Hello, hello.
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 Ciao. Oh, it's 10. Never mind.
I can 10 minutes.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Hello. I thought that's why you paused.
I've been taken by the light.
No.
DPM had a smoke alarm go off, so he asked us to pause.
Fucking ooh woo.
Oh, well, it's 6 anyway.
The Arabian Peninsula is united because I managed to finish the peace deal in that moment. Helson unpause it.
Oh, nice. That is a very, very nice looking Oman.
No, I
to
still
say.
see Anaza alive. He's
not
surviving.
That's actually a different state.
It is Arabia.
France has been restored to.
He's getting killed by somebody.
No, actually,
Who the
it's,
heck?
Still quiet, Calico.
Yeah, you were super quiet, Calico.
It's fine for me.
I am happy with my expansion.
Colonizing works.
I have to QQ. I have to buy 2 provinces up. Yeah.
I'm happy it's going to be able to expand.
All Jalith and Tabuk are part of Arabia, and I want to finish that. It's just a thing, but yeah. I'm very proud of Oman.
Some interesting things have happened this session. The Ottomans taking over Vienna, achieving their second goal. The German miners losing their goal because of the loss of Vienna, and actually we later realised they've not had Istria since the start, so that wasn't completed anyway. The potential loss of Rome to Florence, and maybe some other territories. The invasion of Castile by the British. Denmark completed a goal. They've got the level 2 centres of trade that they required in Lubeck. So at the moment, Venice has 1 goal, the Ottomans have 2 goals, and Denmark has 1.
I have 1.
Who's me?
QQ, I have the most cav.
Oh, okay. I can add that. Let me just double check that is in fact true.
I have 20k. I doubt I might have higher.
You do? Okay.
Oh.
So QQ has a goal too.
4 more than God.
It's not gonna
Austria is
change.
just living border war here.
Austria really
Holy
is just living in border gore right now, yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I try.
Oh, Florence is eating the Pope.
The fact that there was no Bohemia has really cost Austria this week.
Oh yeah.
And I'm very sorry to say, like, you guys can take this now, but Chief Code Red's just told me he's not going to be here next week either.
Nice.
Looks
one
like
sub.
Fighter's not going to be here either.
I'm
So
not gonna be
Darkfighter
this week.
said that it seems the Darkfighter is quitting completely as Muscovy. He
Really?
says Muscovy is free to the taking.
Castillo
just
just said he's leaving as well because he sent me the wrong peace deals. Yikes.
Jesus.
What?
It's
What does he
rage
offer
quit.
you?
But no peace deals have gone through yet.
No, so like I was asking for Rome for Pope and he wouldn't do that. Gibraltar, Cadiz, and Cape Verde.
Lithuania's down to 35% liberty.
And he wouldn't give me
Anyway,
a
you guys will need to decide this between sessions because I need to end this one. So, thank you everyone for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed this so far. Thank you everyone for playing. I do hope you've enjoyed it so far. Certainly some drama to have emerged from this session. If you want to see more of this kind of thing in the future, then hit that follow button to get notifications when I'm live again, which will be, in fact, in an hour. That's why I'm rushing off. I do also have a YouTube channel. If you want to catch up on previous episodes, you can find those at youtube.com/Mordred Viking. If you want to support the channel further, you can do that through Patreon at patreon.com/Mordred Viking or through subscribing here on Twitch. And then finally, I have a Discord, which you can find at the Discord link that I am about to post up. You could come join our community, say hello. It's always lovely to see some new people there. What was the other one? Patreon. Yes. That's it from me for now, and that's it from the players here, and we'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Oh, woo.
See ya.
Bye.
Later.